What is happening, people? Today I'm going to be talking about confidence and how you can take 5 actionable steps right now to become more confident, to gain more confident, and to get more out of life and be a more confident person in the current situation that you are in right now. Not all of us are born confident, myself included. Like, you're probably going to be analyzing my body language right now, subconsciously judging me, seeing if I'm a phony, seeing if I'm a sucker, seeing if I have any idea what I'm talking about, any kind of like non-verbal cue, whether you know it or not. For example, if I was standing here like this, couldn't really keep eye contact, kind of like looking around, very kyphotic, closed body language, and my voice was quite quiet because I'm not very confident, you're probably gonna think I'm a massive phony. So I gotta make sure not to have body language like this and not to avoid eye contact and talk with a louder voice that I want to project across the room because I'm a confident person. What I just did there was it's something called labeling. So this isn't one of my tips, but this is definitely something you can take on board, is if you have an issue about, if you're worried about something, for example, what is the worst thing that could happen to me in this current situation I'm in right now? I'm here recording a video for you guys in RET about confidence. I want to come across confident, because if I don't come across confident, you're going to think I'm a phony. You're going to think I'm a fraud. You're going to think I have no idea what I'm talking about, and you're probably not going to watch a video. You're probably going to throw your laptop out the window, burn your RET membership, and report me for nudity on Instagram. Like, whatever it is, you're probably going to absolutely hate me if you think I'm chatting shit. So my biggest fear is to be perceived as an imposter or someone that isn't very confident. And I have a bit of anxiety doing this. Like, my confidence right now is probably like here, but it's probably gonna be like here by the time the video is finished, because I have all that, I've proved to myself that I can do the video, and there's always like bits of self-doubt slipping in. So by labeling, by saying the way that I feel, by saying the worst thing that could happen in the situation right now, and by making it happen in the sense that I deliberately gave myself bad body language, deliberately quieted my voice, deliberately appeared to be not very confident, by doing that, I take control of the negative situation. I take control of the worst case scenario that could have happened, and I've deliberately caused it to happen. So what that does is, number one, it means that if it was to happen again, it doesn't matter, because I've just put myself through that deliberately anyway. So I can overcome it, I can get through it. Number two, it shows me as well that I can't remember the second point. Anyway, you get the point I'm trying to make. So it's kind of a little ritual I do before I do things. If I'm unsure of myself, I will deliberately label or say things about like how I'm feeling, labeling my emotions, making a joke out of them, because then you are kind of taking control of them. And that's a big thing that you can do. Like, if you're feeling anxious, for example, you can say, oh, I'm really feeling quite anxious, rather than hiding it, trying to bottle it up. Like, it's going to make it a million times worse. But if you label it, if you talk about it, psychological studies back this up, it's going to make things a million times better. Like in a negotiation, Chris Voss, what book is it? Never Split the Difference, talks about labeling in hostage negotiations, or if you're negotiating something, you could be like, oh, you must feel really sad by this, or you must feel empathetic listening, labeling, or tied in. Anyway, what I'm going to give you today is I'm going to give you 5 instantly actionable steps that you can take. 5 steps that you can take right now that are going to make you more confident, make you appear more confident, and make you think you are more confident. Confidence is like a muscle. Like, it's not just going to appear overnight. And whilst these 5 steps are like a band-aid, they are going to help you. And if you keep doing them, they are greatly going to help you. It's something you've got to actively seek out. You've got to get outside your comfort zone. You've got to put yourself in these situations where you don't feel very confident, things that scare you, and deliberately seek out these situations that you are scared of, that you don't have a lot of confidence in. And that is the only way that you're going to gain confidence. It's like saying, I want to become a professional football player. No, it's like saying, I want to become Michael Phelps. I want to become a professional swimmer, but I'm scared of water, so I'm not going to get in water. Do you think you're going to be able to become a professional swimmer if you cannot get in water? The answer to that is no. So why do we want more confidence? Number one is, in the social hierarchy of the world, more confident people are going to be more dominant. They're going to get further in life. They're going to be able to live life in their own terms, which is going to mean that they're going to be more happier. They're going to be less neurotic. They're going to be less aggressive or negative. Like, have you ever had it? Do you know, like a child, for example, when a child just can't express their emotions, they cry or they scream because they can't get their own way? If you're not someone that is outspoken, if you're not someone that can't be confident in a situation and like tell people like what you want and how you feel and how things are, it's gonna build up and up inside and make you incredibly resentful. It's like the typical like sketch of the guy at school that gets that is always quiet and people like bang into him and say stuff and bully him a little bit, but because he never stands up for himself, because he never has that confidence, it all builds up and up and up and up and up and up until it fucking explodes. And obviously it's not a good way to live. So by being more confident, you're able to get the way that you feel out there more, you're able to get things on your own terms more, and you're going to be higher up this social hierarchy more, and your life is going to be generally better. My biggest fear is dying and wondering what could have been. And if you haven't got a lot of confidence, you're not going to be trying new things. You're going to be too scared. You're going to be living in this state of what's the word? State of scarcity, this mindset, scarcity mindset, where you're not going to be getting all these things. You're not going to be chasing your dreams because you're too scared. A lack of confidence is too much fear. And how do you get over fear? You fucking smash through it head on. You deliberately put yourself in situations that are going to scare you. And on the long term, the number one thing I can say for confidence is you've got to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and get scared. Like, you've got to be willing to put yourself in these situations that scare you, that you don't necessarily want to do, but you're doing them for the greater good, because you do not want to look back at the end of your life and be like, I wish I did that. Like, how different would my life be if I did this thing? Like, imagine what could transpire from this one event. So not everyone is born with confidence. I understand that. Like, the vast majority of people are born with piss all confidence, you know, going through school full of insecurities. There's a select few people, a lucky few people that are born or brought up with this inherent confidence instilled with them, and I was not one of these people. And the vast majority of us are not people that are naturally confident, because we worry about what people think of us. We're scared to speak up. We're scared of being judged. We're scared to do this thing that we don't have a lot of confidence in. So a lot of us just shut it out. And it's true that as you get older, you get more confidence, you gain more life experience, you get more experience in things, you become more confident, but I wouldn't rely on that. Unless you actually seek out these situations that are going to scare you and seek out these things that are going to make you grow and become more confident, you're not going to change. Like, you might have a couple of % increase in confidence, but you've actually got to, if you want real change, you've got to seek it out and do things that are going to instill more confidence in you, because you cannot rely on time giving you more confidence, because it is never going to work or suffice alone. And that's not to say that, like, if you're really introverted, you have to be this like outgoing, loud person, the life and center of the party. But it does mean that, but I am saying everyone can benefit from having more confidence. There's social hierarchies in life, and you're either at the top or you're either at the bottom. Like, you don't want to be at the bottom because it is a shit place to be. And if you don't have a lot of confidence, you're probably going to be at the bottom. If you have a lot of confidence, you're going to be higher up social hierarchies. Women are going to be more attracted to you. One of the key things that women are attracted to is disagreeableness in men, confidence, men that like know what they want. It's a very masculine trait. And if you're like a pushover, if you're not very confident, if you're scared, if you're not a go-getter, if you're not like semi kind of aggressive, if you're low in confidence, you are not going to be attractive to the opposite sex, and your life is not going to be as good as it could be. Unless you're gay and you like really, really confident alpha men, and you like to be oppressed and a subordinate male, then by all means cultivate no confidence, because that's what's going to happen. I don't mean you're going to turn gay. I mean that, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. Anyway, these are my 5 instantly actionable steps to gain more confidence. Number 1, this was a massive one for me. When I was younger, I used to have shit posture. And number 1 is walk with your chest out and your shoulders back. A hack and actual step that you can take for this right now is, whenever you walk through a door frame, ensure that your shoulders are back, your chest is out, and your head is up. It is something along the lines of 70 to 80% of communication is non-verbal. So as a species, we communicate through our body language, the things that we are doing. If I was to do this talk like I did at the start, with not a lot of confidence, closed, cathartic body language, you might know nothing about body language, you can tell that I'm not very confident. If I was to do this talk like this, you would probably get quite bored of the talk, because it's not very charismatic. For example, my hands are moving, I've got hand gestures which are going to be engaging, are going to keep your eyes occupied, and I've got open body language. I've got my palms up as well, which is kind of like I'm trying to sell you something or I'm trying to show you a point. Open and head up, chest out, shoulders back. It's kind of a confident body language that I've got going on. Now I'm going to say it, I'm going to like second guess myself. But anyway, first point is shoulders back, chest out. And if you've got shit posture, this is incredibly important. There's a stereotype again of the kid, the emo kid with like shit posture, walking around like this, really insecure, really scared. And that is a stereotype for a reason, because it is true, because posture is correlated with your self-esteem. And it's what is it? It's really interesting. Posture is also correlated with your serotonin, which is the higher your serotonin naturally, the higher you're going to rank on a social hierarchy. So if you've got high serotonin, you're naturally going to have good posture, versus if you've got very low serotonin, you're going to have bad posture because you're low down. You don't want to, you're scared to appear like a threat to people. You're trying to make yourself as small as possible. If there's like some big alpha male, you don't want to be seen like challenging him. And the women are going to look at you and think like maybe not consciously, but it's not going to benefit you. So walking through doors with chest out, shoulders back is a massive one. It is a massive one because quite often when we walk through a door, walking into a new environment is scary for anyone. We do not like novelty. We do not like new situations, new environment, because from like a primal point of view, it could be dangerous. So whenever we go through a door, we put our chest, shoulders back, chest out, head up. Head up is going to be a dominant movement, a dominant assertive movement, a way of standing, because you're exposing your neck. I'm not saying walk around like this or you look like a fucking idiot. Just be conscious of having good posture, good confident posture. And just look when different sorts of people walk into rooms. How do they walk into a room? How does the CEO walk into the room versus the cleaner? Like look and you'll be amazed by what you see. And so by having your chest out, your shoulders back, it's open body language. You're going to be showing that you're open, you're willing to speak to people, you're not scared, you're not hiding anything, you're going to be more approachable as well on a certain level, rather than walking around like this. You're going to look incredibly sketchy, and your head up is exposing your neck and jugular is just another high serotonin, high confidence cue. And there's this thing called state control. So the way that our body is, our body language, our non-verbal cues, our state, our emotional state controls our body language, and our body language can also control our emotional state. So if you want to be confident, you should exhibit confident cues. So you should stand in a certain way. You should sit in a certain way. If I'm doing like a business meeting on the phone, if I'm on the phone to one of my mates, I'll probably just be like lying in bed or slouched or whatever. If I've got like a business call and I'm on the phone and they can't even see me, I want to ensure that I'm stood up like this in a confident way at a window, or sat up like in a confident manner at the desk. So first one is walk around with your head up and your shoulders back, because that is a big one. And it's gonna change your world. That one thing alone, if you do that, that will rock your fucking world, especially if you have poor posture. It's gonna make you taller, which is gonna make you appear more attractive. It's gonna make you seem more assertive and more sure of yourself. It's gonna make you more of like a presence when you walk in the room. And like I said, it's also gonna make you more approachable as well, as long as you're not walking around like a fucking douchebag. Number two is kind of leading on. A lot of these are body language, some of these aren't. And number two is my own personal one. I've never heard this anywhere, but it's something that I've done and it's helped me massively. Like I used to get real scared about going to clubs just because I don't like all the people. It's a new place. I'm not really very confident, or I haven't been in the past very confident in going out to clubs, going out to bars, because it's like scary new environment. I never really went out much when I was younger. I was quite like introverted in my decisions, although I'm quite extroverted in my nature, I think. But I would be like not very confident. So combined with the chest out, shoulders back, when you walk into a new environment, touch it. Touch the environment. So I like to visualize that if let's say I walk into a bar, I've never been to this bar before, and there are like locals, let's say Portugal, for example, where I am right now. There's locals staring at me, and I feel incredibly judged, and you know that they're like kind of sizing you up, like looking at you, judging you. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk in and my chest out, my shoulders back, like relaxed, but kind of like dominant, like body language, like I'm the shit. You literally, it's almost narcissistic in a sense. You want to visualize like you fucking own the place. Like that is literally the biggest thing I would say to you. Like if you are doing something where you know that you're going to be judged, let's say a job interview, or don't be too aggressive in a job interview, or a situation where you know that people are going to be like judging you or whatever, and you're very worried about it, you're scared. Imagine that you own the fucking place you're walking into. So let's say I walk into a bar. Number two, the second thing that I say is touch things. Spreading behavior is a dominant behavior. And when we're at home, we'll spread our things everywhere. Subconsciously, we'll just spread our things out everywhere. If you're at a meal with someone, the dominant person will spread their belongings out the most on the table, or they'll eat with their hands like this, or they'll have their glass like really fast. So they take up all this space or all this territory. They're very prime at the end of the day. So if you walk in a place and if you touch things, literally just as you're walking by, just like touching things, like you're the owner, like you're looking for dust. Imagine you fucking own the place. Walk by, run your hands over things. That's like, this is mine territory, this is mine. I feel comfortable. And because of state control, you'll begin to feel more comfortable in the environment. Like when I go to a new club, I do a lap around the club. I walk around like, not like an absolute cunt, but with good, confident body language, and I just walk around running my fingers across things. Do you know, like how you'd walk past your wardrobe in your house and you might run your fingers over it for dust? I'll just do that in a club just to be like, yeah, like this is my place. This is fine. It's my place. And then that will give you instantaneous confidence as well. Actionable step number 3 is wear your big boy shoes. Wear your big boy shoes. And this is kind of a bit of an odd one, but there is no lie, or there's no denying that if you're taller, you're gonna be more dominant, you're gonna be perceived as more dominant, you're most likely gonna be perceived as more assertive and more of a presence when you walk into a room. If you're shorter, sorry short lads, it's not the end of the world at all. Like at the end of the day, when it comes to finding a mate, it all comes down to charisma. But if you can improve something, if you can give yourself that little bit of an advantage, you should. So unless you're over 6'2", I'd say this definitely, if you're over 6'2", this doesn't apply to you. But for anyone that's under like 6 foot, definitely wear your big boy shoes. And those are just shoes with when you're going somewhere again, where you might not be very confident, somewhere maybe like a date, somewhere where you want that little bit of confidence, no matter how short you are, chuck on a big boy shoe and you will gain an extra inch or so in your height. I think these actually make me like 6.5 foot, or 6.5 foot, 6'0.5" or 6'1" or something stupid. And these are just Reeboks. Nike do some nice shoes as well. The Nike Air Max are pretty tall on the heel as well. So if you want to go somewhere where you want a bit more confidence, put on your big boy shoes. That's an instant thing you can do straight away. And I'm not saying walk around in fucking heels all the time, but in those occasional situations, you don't want to rely on things to make you more confident. But if you want that instantaneous boost, or you just want to get every bit of leverage you can, then put on your big boy shoes. Number 4, and that is learn to laugh at yourself. Labeling. Quite often in situations, the thing we're scared about the most is people judging us. It's people judging our own insecurities. People like bringing something up that we don't want them to talk about. Maybe we think we have bad teeth. Maybe we've got a spotty face. Maybe we've got a shit hairline. Whatever it is, we are scared about people bringing up these things because we don't want to get embarrassed. We don't want to look like we're weak and we're easily like bullied, or we just don't want to be embarrassed publicly. It doesn't take a lot of explaining. So how do you get over that? I touched on this at the start of the video. And what you should do is learn to laugh at yourself. Step number 4 is learn to laugh at yourself. Label. So when you can laugh at your own insecurities, when the things that you're most scared about, when you can look at yourself and make a joke out of it, when you can take the piss out of yourself without getting offended, when there is nothing that people can say that is going to upset you or morbidly offend you, it is incredibly freeing and incredibly liberating. If you have all these insecurities, all these things that you dare not speak about, you're living in denial about, and you never make a joke about them, you don't put them out on the table, you just kind of hide it away, it's going to eat you up inside and make you not very confident. So this is an actionable one that you can take right now, and that's learn to laugh at your insecurities and your own shortcomings and other things. Maybe you're really, really small and you meet a girl and she says to you, how do you think these two situations need to go? She says to you, she goes, you're a bit small, aren't you? Like I normally like guys that are over 6 foot. And then you go, yeah, but I'm like 5'10", 5'11 and a half. And you go bright red. You've blown it. You fucked it. Situation number 2, you're 5 foot 4 inches tall. You're not very big for a man. You're pretty small. And the girl kind of looks at you and she goes, she says something like, I only date tall guys. You're not very tall, are you? And then you should say, I only date skinny birds, not fucking fat bitch, and get fucking slapped. If you were to employ self-depreciating humor, you could be like, oh yeah, and that's not the only thing that's tiny either. Like that's not the only tiny thing, implying that you've got an incredibly small dick as well. And it's like, what else can she say? What's gonna be her comeback for that? What's she gonna reply? Is she gonna think like, this guy is a fucking uptight douchebag like the first one, and who's really insecure of himself? Or is she actually gonna find it funny that you made a joke and just said you got like a tiny little 1-inch dick? Self-depreciating humor will help you get over things. Like it will make you a more outgoing, confident person, because it is incredibly powerful when there's nothing, no one can say that you wouldn't joke about yourself. It's gonna be uncomfortable at first, it's gonna be painful, you're gonna go red, it's gonna be embarrassing, but you've got to learn to make jokes out of yourself. And that's not putting yourself down, saying I'm this, I'm that, I'm all these like bad things. It's just learning to laugh and like look at it from an outside perspective, realize that you're not such a big deal, that it doesn't matter that this big insecurity secret of yours, like when you start to joke about it, you'll soon realize that no one gives a fuck. So for example, with me, my toes are pretty fucked right now. They literally look like party sausages on one foot because they're so swollen. My toenails like bent into a U shape. It's fucking gross. And I got like lumpy, disgusting, red, swollen toes all the time. I can make a joke to a chick, for example, about sucking my little party sausage toes or something like that. If you're worried about your dick size, you could make a joke about sucking a little party sausage dick, although I probably wouldn't do that if you don't know someone very well, because you might end up with a slap. Other ones of me, for example, I feel a bit chubby at the minute. I know that I'm not, like in the grand scheme of things, but for my own state, I could be like in a much better condition. Jawline is a little bit fucking gone, like I'm a little bit chubby, a lot more fat than I want to be right now, and my hairline is fucking mediocre as well. Like probably in 5 years or so, I'm gonna, well, if I'm lucky, I'm gonna have to go and get either shave it off, go completely bald, or go to Hair Center Turkey. But what I lack in hairline, I definitely do not make up for in personality or dick size. So that's a bit of self-depreciating humor right there. But at least my leg works as well. It's not like I'm a fucking cripple or anything. But yeah, learn to laugh at yourself, learn to make a joke of yourself, and your life will be a million times better. That's something, all these steps you should do every single day. Like you should put these into action and deliberately put yourself in situations, because your confidence, your brain is like a muscle. You've got to train it to see results. And although these are things you can do right now that can make you feel better, if you really want to make change, you should do these things every single day with the main aim of overcoming fear and putting yourself in situations. Step number 5, and it's not going to be applicable, some of these things right now, because obviously you might be in lockdown, coronavirus, all that shit is going on. But step number 5 is take good care of yourself. And that just means basic hygiene. So for example, brush your teeth properly, floss your teeth, floss your teeth, get a teeth whitening kit, whiten your teeth, make your teeth nice. It doesn't matter if you think you've got wonky teeth or if you've got like really gappy teeth. I used to have gappy teeth, and my biggest successes with women was when I went out and I had like literally no front tooth. I had like half a front tooth, and I had a threesome like that, for fuck's sake, in America, with people that are incredibly judgmental of teeth, especially if you're British. Like, I just used to make a joke out of it, be like, yeah, I'm a fucking hillbilly, like I can fit a credit card in my front teeth. Like, but you can take care of yourself, so regardless, like, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, whiten your teeth. Things like haircut, that's a massive one as well. I get my haircut every 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. Get a haircut as much as possible. Obviously we might not be able to do that right now, but if you've got long ass hair, just fucking shave it off, or get your mum or your girlfriend to sort it out for you, whatever. Things like the clothes that you wear, the way you dress. You don't have to go spending like designer stuff. You've got videos on fashion and other bits as well from Alex. Like, you don't have to be wearing like great designer clothes. Like a perfectly fitted black RET t-shirt from the shop up above, should definitely cop. Oversized, it's gonna get you everything that you could possibly want in terms of confidence. But yeah, I'm just making a point that like, take care of your appearance, man. Like, it's gonna increase your self-esteem, it's gonna increase your confidence. If you've ever, like, diet, be in good shape. If you're fat, like, don't fuck around, don't binge eat, don't keep telling yourself like these false lies. Get yourself on a plan, get a coach, follow one of the RET plans, actually make a change, implement good habits, instill good habits, and get into shape. Sort out your diet is going to sort out your skin if you've got acne and spots as well. Like, not having so many dairy products, so many greasy, fatty foods is going to sort out your skin. That's going to make you more confident. That's going to make you more likely to adhere to a diet, because you start to identify as this fit, good-looking person. It's going to leach into all aspects of your life. So wear nice clothes. Doesn't have to be expensive clothes. Literally, I just wear all black or white every now and then, contrasting colors, black or white shoes, literally it. I don't have anything designer. Everything I buy is from like generic t-shirt brands or RET, or it's gifted to me, so I don't go out of my way to spend money on clothes. I think it's a waste of money. But that's not to be said. You do want to look good and wear nice fitting clothes and be able to walk down the street with a spring in a step. But anyway, guys, that was my 5 tips to instantly gain more confidence. Let me know what you thought of it in my Instagram DMs. Tag us in your stories as well. Tag me in it as well, @MoSamuels, and drop me a message if you have any questions, or if you have any tips, or you want to add anything to that video, or you want to ask me anything. Just get in touch with me on Instagram. But 5 steps, as summarized here, to instantly gain more confidence. Just remember, the longer you leave it, the harder it's going to get. The longer you push it to the side of your head, you push these fears away, the longer you live in this state of adversity, the longer you run away from your fear, the longer you stay in this low level of confidence, the deeper the hole is going to get and the harder it's going to be to get out of it. You're never beyond redemption. Like, no matter how old you are, no matter how deep down in this hole you are, this pit that you are in, you can always get out. But take action now, not tomorrow, not later. Do it right now and actually do something good and get your life moving in the right direction. Last but not least, bonus tip for you is, if you're in a situation, think, how does the person that you look up to, how would the person that you look up to, the person that you aspire to be like, how would they act in that current situation? Copy it. Fake it till you make it. Anyway, guys, peace out. I love you to bits. Thank you. Good night.